Sarawak is a region that rich in ethnic diversity and have their own culture system. The Iban community is one of the largest community groups living in all parts of Sarawak. The Iban community is concentrated in the northwestern part of the Borneo Island. Most of the Iban community now live in the region of Sarawak, and there are also a number of Ibans in the West Kalimantan, Indonesia, which is in an area the Kapuas River. In the past, after the Iban community stayed for decades along the Merakai River, Indonesia, one of their leaders named Galungan along with his followers had left the area in search of a better new placement. Later, they stayed in Bukit Balau, which is located between Merakai and Sungai Batang Undup. They were followed by a second group of Ibans led by a leader named Langkop. This second group has stayed in the middle of the Batang Undup area. After these two groups stay in Bukit Balau and Batang Undup, the third group of Iban led by Jillian stay in Wong Empangu, which is in the downstream area of Batang Undup. According to historical records, the Iban community loved to travel and even more move from one place to another in search of more fertile areas to cultivate hill paddy and also to animal hunting and fish. Their place of origin cannot be determined, but there is evidence to show that the Iban community once lived in the Hulu Kapuas and Ketunggau areas of West Kalimantan, Indonesia before moving to Sarawak. The Iban community are believed that have to come out in early 1540 centuries. They will not create more complicated motif as long as the inspiration of the dream and related influence do not materialize. The Iban people strongly emphasize that new patterns of motif should indeed be born from individual intuition, philosophy, and not born from imitating the work from others. From the perspective of the Iban community, the selection of motif pattern is not only limited to one motif pattern only, but for the Iban community, the selection of motif pattern is based on the whole aspect of daily life and the result of their interaction with nature and the supernatural realm consisting of potara, gods, hantu, spirits, and ancestral spirits. The absence of the limit from the point of view animistic belief make textile motif look very unique, diverse, aesthetic, and very complex. The motif pattern on the textile are the result of the intuition of the Iban community and inspiration from the environment, and many reflect the beauty of nature as well as the belief in the extraordinary power and culture value of the Iban themselves. Some of the motifs depict images of humans, animals, plants, insects, and equipment as symbols that are thought to represent the element of nature. Because the Iban community relationship with nature, all natural phenomena are very close and familiar. They create or produce motifs based on the elements of nature with the help of sense, such as the sense of sight, taste, touch, smell, and hearing. In this context, when the Iban community hears, sees, touch, feels, smells, or imagines the beauty of nature phenomena such as the roar of the waterfall, evergreen forests, animals, insects, human, moon, stars, sun, and clouds, then arouse an inspiration that all of God's creation could be used as motif on textile. The way we dress affects our mood and also self-esteem. It also affects others around us. Batik fashion is well known among Malaysians, and there exists various types of batik based on region and ethnic influence. Traditionally, batik is generally known as either batik Malaysia or batik Indonesia. Later, other more localized groups of batik become popular, such as batik Kelantan, batik Pahang, and batik Terengganu. Lately, one of the regions coming up with their own unique batik is Borneo, commonly called batik Borneo. Batik Borneo capitalized on the traditional design motif popular among prominent indigenous groups of Borneo. In 2008, Malaysian government introduced the policy of wearing batik on Thursday for civil officers in order to support the batik industry. Batik is a technique of producing clothes designed using wax as dye repellent to exclude areas of the clothes where dye is not wanted. This is the traditional definition which could be found in many articles and books about batik. Nowadays, especially for Malaysia, the definition of batik is much larger than the simple process for its production. To them, batik refers more to certain design characteristics and particular motif used for clothes designs. Batik Borneo was introduced to the market quite recently, probably less than 10 years ago. Batik Borneo capitalized on the traditional design motif popular among prominent indigenous groups of Borneo. The classification of batik based on place of production is widely used in Malaysia. It makes communication between sellers and buyers simpler, since the way group of people at a particular locality dress is strongly associated with their local culture. Thus, categorizing batik by a place name relieves the need of lengthy explanations. Practitioners tend to classify batik based on the technique used for making them. By doing so, they came up with categories including batik cap, block printing with wax, batik tulis, hand-drawn designs, and batik pelangi, tie-dye pelangi. Batik can be both of arts and a craft, which is also gaining popularity and better known in the West, especially for its creativity. The art of decorating clothes in this way using wax and dye has a long history spanning hundreds of years. The process of making batik. To make a batik, areas of the clothes where dye is unwanted are waxed by brushing or drawing liquid hot wax over them, and then cloth is then dyed. The parts applied with wax resist the dye and maintain its original color. Repeating the process of waxing and dyeing can create more elaborate and colorful designs. After the final dyeing and drying, the wax is removed and the cloth is ready for wearing or showing. Contemporary batik is significantly different from the more traditional and formal styles batik. Contemporary artists may use etching, discharge dyeing, stencil, different tools for waxing and dyeing. Wax with different resist value and work with silk, cotton, wool, leather, paper, or even wood and ceramic. The variety of techniques available offer the artist the opportunity to explore a unique process in a flexible and exciting way. The history of batik. Evidence of batik were found in the Far East, Middle East, Central Asia, and India from over 2 millennia ago. The craft spread from Asia to the island of the Malay archipelago and west to the Middle East through the caravan route. Batik was used in China during the Sui dynasty. These were silk batik, and these were discovered in Nara, Japan, in the form of screens and ascribed to the Nara period. They use motifs derived from trees, animals, flute players, hunting parties, and mountains. In India, frescoes found in the Ajunta cave depict head wraps and garments which resemble batik. Temple ruins in Java and Bali contain figures whose garments are decorated with batik-like motif. The Yoruba tribe of southern Nigeria and Senegal in Central Africa also practice resist dyeing using cassava and rice paste of centuries. Batik wearing in line with the government policies. In 2008, the government of Malaysia implemented the policy of the wearing batik on Thursday for civil service officers to support the batik industry. They are required to wear batik as official garment during working hours. Batik is also required when attending official events and considered as one of the formal attires. This decision helped the promotion of batik, and many entrepreneurs joined the industry as the demand for batik increased significantly. Discover of beauty and uniqueness batik Borneo. Borneo is the largest island in Southeast Asia, contains Sabah, Sarawak and Kalimantan, Indonesia. Batik Borneo as craft and art are distinct from batik Kelantan or batik Terengganu. The uniqueness of its pattern from ethnic motif make batik Borneo unique compared to other batik. Batik Borneo is classified according to its place of origin, either Sarawak, Sabah or West Kalimantan. Even though all three regions consist mostly similar ethnic groups, but localization has made their batik differ from each other. Puak Kombo is ritual clothes or blanket of various types and important woven by Iban ladies. Recently, the design was famous among Malaysian and most of local designers take the opportunity to adapt the motif into batik. Preserve our batik Borneo, such as wearing batik for any occasion, organizing batik exhibition, having batik making workshop.